Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sneha Nair and in this video lecture we'll be studying in detail regarding the Semester 5 Physical Chemistry paper number 303, Unit 1 Thermodynamics. Now before we get an idea regarding what exactly is thermodynamics, we must get really information about what exactly have we studied so far in thermodynamics. Now, thermodynamics is divided into two different categories. The very first category is called as thermo, and the other one is called as dynamics. Now, if I need to understand what exactly is thermo and dynamics, how can I explain it? That thermal or thermo means what? Anything which involves heat. Okay, and dynamics means what? The study of heat. So in simplest form, if I want to understand what exactly is called as thermodynamics, how will I define it? That the study which involves the flow of heat can be considered as thermodynamics. Now in this thermodynamics, what will happen is, obviously we are considered with the flow of heat, but this flow of heat will deal with the interconversion of various kinds of energy. That is, a system is going to change in physical manner, also in the chemical manner when you are combining it. So what will happen is, the interconversion of various kinds of energy in the physical as well as the chemical systems will be taken into consideration. Now, before we enter into the depth of thermodynamics that is there in our course, we must study regarding what are the basic advantages of making this study. So, the very first advantage of a thermodynamic study is that it will help us in predicting the feasibility of the physical and the chemical reactions. Now, what exactly do I mean by the feasibility of the reaction? See, the simplest way of understanding is that if, for example, I say that A is going to combine with B, so it will result into what? It will result into AB. So this information, that is, when two reactants A and B are going to get combined with one another, whether they will be resulting into the formation of AB or not is obtained by the thermodynamics. Okay? So feasibility, we got an idea. Now, if I've already understood what exactly will be the feasibility, the second point will be it will help us in getting an idea whether the reaction is going to occur spontaneously or not. Now, how will I say that the reaction is spontaneous or not? The simplest way of understanding is that, see, if for example I say any chemical reaction, if suppose A and B could say suddenly react हो रहे हैं, that is A and B at on their own are reacting with one another, and then they're resulting into the formation of a polymer B, AB. So what will happen is AB जो form हो रहा है, that is the product that is formed by this reaction, whether it is spontaneous or non-spontaneous, that idea also can be easily obtained with the help of thermodynamics. Now, the third and the most important point that we need to understand with the help of thermodynamic study is that it helps us in determining the extent of the reaction. That is, कितने प्रमाण में reaction होगा. For example, A B के साथ react करेगा तो कितने प्रमाण में कितनी देर तक reaction हो रहा है, as in what extent, to what proportion the reactants and the reactants are going to combine, and then they will result into the product formation. That idea can be easily obtained from the help of thermodynamic study. Now, obviously, every study that we take up into consideration has got certain advantages as well as certain limitations. Now, if we talk about the first limitation of the thermodynamic study is that, see, it is going to give us it is going to give us an idea regarding the extent to which a reaction is taking place. But it is not going to give us anything regarding what exactly will be the rate of that reaction. That is, how much, at what rate the reaction is going to start off, उसका हमें कोई भी आइडिया नहीं मिलेगा. प्रमाण पता चल जाएगा, लेकिन कितने समय में बन रहा है उस आइडिया की इंफॉर्मेशन हमें थर्मोडायनेमिक्स से नहीं मिलती. So if I want to get an idea regarding the rate of chemical reactions, we have a simpler technique which is called as a chemical kinetics. Now, what is chemical kinetics? Chemical kinetics में it generally gives us an idea that the reactants have combined with one another, and then they are going to result into the formation of a product. So this information was obtained from the chemical kinetics. Okay? The second limitations of the thermodynamic is that it will only and only be applicable to the systems or to the matter which are in the bulk. That is, we are not getting any idea, any information regarding the individual atoms or ions. We are not concerned with क्या एक एक एटम या आयन कंबाइंड है वो नहीं कर रहे हैं. वी आर ओनली कंसर्न विद द बल्क ऑफ द सिस्टम. सो दिस वाज इन जनरल रिगार्डिंग what exactly is thermodynamics and what are the advantages of thermodynamics and what are the limitations. Now, as you all can recall, that there were certain common terminologies that are useful or that are constantly studied while we take into consideration the thermodynamics. The very first is the system and surrounding. Now, to understand what exactly is the system and the surrounding, a basic identification can be done in the form of what? That see. If I'm going to say, let's say that I'm going to do all my, all the parameters that I'm going to study, I've selected an X. Okay? I've selected an X and I'm going to study all my parameters on this X. So what is going to be my system? This X is going to be my system. Now surrounding this X, whatever in the neighborhood, whichever things or the atoms or the molecules are present, they will be considered as what? They'll be considered as surrounding for me. Now both this X as well as the surrounding, that is the molecules or atoms that are present in the neighborhood, they will be considered or they will be a part of the universe. So now, if I have to define system and surrounding, how will I define? That any part of the system or any part of the universe which is selected for the thermodynamic study is called as what? A system. And the rest of the universe will be considered as what? That is the rest of the universe which is in the neighborhood will be called as what? Surrounding. So the system can be separated from the surrounding, as you can see here, by any real or imaginary boundary through which the exchange of energy or matter can easily take place. Now, if I'm considering any exchange of energy and matter, what will I understand is, see, एक imaginary या real boundary है, तो what it will do is कि system में जो energy and matter होगा वो इधर exchange होगा and as well as surrounding में भी वो आर पार this will be easily and readily be applicable or can be exchanged. Now then we have the important point as which is called as the types of system. Now what exactly do we mean by the type of system? That we get an idea regarding the various kinds of systems. Now what exactly is the type of system if I want to understand? See, various other systems are available. The commonest of all जो हम हमेशा से we are studying is homogeneous and heterogeneous system. Now, for example, I need to understand in a very basic preliminary manner what is homogeneous and heterogeneous system. The simplest example that we would have studied is, for example, if I take that we have two glasses of water. In one glass of water, I'm telling you that I've dissolved sugar into it, and in the another glass of water, I'm dissolving salt into it. So what is going to happen is, until and unless I'm going to taste that, I will not be able to understand whether the solution, that is whether the solution that I've tasted, that was present was sugar or salt. Enough. So homogeneous system is that type of systems which have a uniformity throughout. That is, they are homogeneous, they are uniform throughout, they have only one phase. And the commonest example that we have studied for the homogeneous systems are the solutions of sugar in water or solution of salt in water. Now, if I talk about the heterogeneous system, now if I say heterogeneous means what? Any system which will have two or more phases involved. So means what? The first point is that it is not going to be uniform anyways. So if it is not uniform means there are two bifurcating, separating layers which is associated with it. And this layer is going to easily bifurcate the two different solutions from one another. And the common example that we have studied of the heterogeneous system is that of the ice in water or the chloroform in water. And the common example also that we have studied is the dissolving of oil in water, wherein the two different layers can be easily formed or separated. So this was all about the heterogeneous system. Then we have the three other different kinds of systems, wherein the first one is considered as the open system. Now, if we talk about the open system, what is happening is, any system which will help us in exchanging both the energy as well as the matter with the surrounding. See, like we have already discussed in this example, that we have a system which is separated from the surrounding by a real or an imaginary boundary. So what is going to happen is, this type of system which is helpful in exchanging both the energy and matter from the surrounding is called as an open system. The commonest example is the beaker full of water. Okay. Then we have the closed system. Now what is happening in the closed system is any system which will helpful in exchanging only energy. Okay, but the matter cannot be exchanged from the surrounding. That type of systems are called as a closed system, wherein what is happening is the water that you keep in a stoppered bottle, that is ऐसा कोई भी bottle जिसमें हमने lid लगा रखा है, that type of system will be considered as a closed system. Then we have the isolated system. Now what is isolated system? One type of system which is not able to exchange anything, that is neither the energy nor the matter, they are both not able to exchange with the surrounding. So that type of systems are called as an isolated system. So these were the three important systems, that is the open, closed and the isolated system, that are generally studied if we study the parameters of the thermodynamic study. Then we have got certain properties of the system. Now what are the properties? वो हमने commonly पढ़ रखी है कि obviously the thermodynamic system, like we have discussed, is only applicable to the macroscopic system, है ना? We are only concerned with the bulk, we are not concerned with the microscopic thing. So what is happening is two types of properties are readily available. The very first is called as the extensive properties, that are going to be dependent on the quantity of matter. That is कितना mass है, कितना volume है, कितनी energy है, that will be dependent on all the quantity of the matter. If we talk about the intensive property, they are going to be dependent on the characteristic of matter, but they're not concerned with how much amount of it is present in the system. So the common example is the pressure, the temperature, viscosity, density, melting point or boiling point. Now a common example if we study is, for example, I want to study, if I've given you a compound which is having 1 gram as a weight. So what will happen is, अगर आप 1 gram का भी weight देखेंगे, that is melting point या boiling point देखेंगे, and similarly, if you take into consideration for the bulk amount, the melting and the boiling point will not be different. They are not going to be changed at any cost. So what generally happens is, any such properties which are going to be not dependent on the amount, but they're only dependent on the characteristics of the matter, that type of properties generated will be called as the intensive properties. These were the two different properties of the thermodynamic systems, or of the systems that we have taken into consideration. Now in the coming lecture, we'll be studying in detail regarding what all thermodynamic processes are available and what all study do we need to do if we are taking into consideration the thermodynamic parameters. So till that time, keep on revising this topic, and then we can meet up in the next video session for the further study. Thank you so much.